All right, guys, we're live.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, guys.
Happy Monday. Happy Memorial
Memorial Day.
Day.
It's
Yes.
a tough one because it's not so happy, but it is in our country. It's a day where we recognize those families and those ones that have paid the ultimate price and the ultimate sacrifice for serving our country. So thank you to
Yes.
all
Thank
of
you.
those families that have had that loss. But today, let's go, Lisa.
Yeah. So today, we didn't want to skip today because I feel like if you watched our previous one on our newest launch, our liver support, we were talking a lot about detox, and I really wanted to bring this one up next. So that's what we're going to cover a lot today.
And
So
what's the title of this?
Why? Oh, go for it.
Cleanse will not detox your body, but here's what will.
There you go.
Yeah, cool. Something different.
Yeah. So again, thank you for joining us. If you're new, welcome. If you're repeat, we always love you guys showing up regardless, or watching or sharing this with your friends or watching a recording. Make sure you like and subscribe. If you don't already, leave us comments, leave us feedback. We will address questions at the end if it pertains to the topic. So yeah, we're just going to roll right in. I have a lot of information to cover, and I really have it detailed on here because I don't, it is scientific. So I wanted to break it down and make sure I covered everything. But bottom line, okay, we all know these juice cleanses, right? They're very popular. Juice fasts, teas. A lot of times you see these 3-day cleanses, but most of these don't actually support the body's natural detoxification process in a meaningful and lasting way. So where you think you might be doing something to detox your body, unfortunately, we're here to tell you that that's not doing the trick. They often ignore the science of the 3 phases of detox, which we're really going to dive into today, and help you understand what you need to do to support those 3 phases. Because I want you to think of these 3 phases as like an assembly line. And if there's like a break in it, like there's a break in the detoxification process in your body. And this is something that's so important to overall health. And this is something that our bodies are designed to do on a regular basis. But of course, the world we live in, the toxic burden that we're exposed to, prevents this from happening. So we have to make sure we're doing our part in supporting our system so it can do what it is supposed to do.
Yeah, I think overall our body's still doing a really good job, even though our environment is definitely loaded with more even than what 50 years ago. But then again, you look at numbers like fatty liver, right? Like things like that. There's like specialties for pediatrics now for fatty liver disease, and it's just so the liver has really got a lot of stress going on. A lot of it has to do with just unhealthy lifestyles overall, which I know we're talking about, but also obesity is a huge contributor to those things. So
100%.
With all that in mind, we're always kind of focused on this body composition and giving our body the optimal, food, nutrition, and supplements to make it
100%.
do its best job.
Yep. And when I go into the 3 phases, I'm also going to tell you what might be preventing one of those or each of those phases from actually doing what it's supposed to do. So, good stuff. So a lot of times these cleanses, they focus on the elimination part, which it tends to be more that phase 3, which is your elimination. But like if your body's not primed and ready to do all that, it's not effective, and you end up not getting the proper nutrients. I mean, you might get a lot of the phytonutrients from the fruits and vegetables that are in there, but you don't get the amino acids, you don't get the protein, and all this stuff actually really is a major player in
huge player.
Detoxification.
Talked about that last week. Protein, aminos.
Yeah. Like I just said, they lack protein, amino acids.
Right.
They can create nutrient deficiencies, depending. I mean, who knows how long you're doing it for? But some people get crazy with it. So like if you're looking for maybe a gut reset, maybe you've got a lot of bloating and gas and stuff going on. Maybe a juice cleanse, a short-term one, can help you then because it gives your digestive system just a break. But that's what you're targeting, right? You're not targeting to cleanse.
I mean, even an intermittent fasting would be a good solution for that.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. 100%. Intermittent fasting would probably be even better.
Yeah.
And like the detox teas. I mean, we do have one, but it's like a milk thistle tea. It's not we're not thinking that this is going to do everything. Right. It's just you're adding milk thistle in, which is part of it, which is actually in our liver support.
I think the misnomer too is detoxing as if you're detoxing the liver. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not. You're actually just supporting the liver's mechanism for detoxification of the body.
Right.
But the liver does so many other functions.
Right.
We talked about 500 functions. So while detox is one of them, right?
Yeah.
You have to support it all.
100%.
Yeah.
And if you're feeling like, so maybe this long 3-day holiday weekend, you felt like you overate and maybe overdrank and whatnot. The goal is to, again, what I'm going to be showing you is to constantly be supporting your body. But also if you just tap right into clean eating, right? So maybe I'm going to have protein shakes for my food for the day, right? So you still know you're getting your protein, your amino acids, your nutrients, or you say, I'm just going to have chicken and broccoli today. And you're not going to, you're just going to eat clean. It's kind of like a reset. So you don't need to go on this crazy juice cleanse. Juice cleanses can also mobilize toxins without eliminating them. So toxins are mainly stored in our fat cells. And say you do a longer cleanse that starts to, everybody's like, oh, I did a 3-day juice cleanse and I lost 10 pounds. You're just mobilizing this fat into your bloodstream. So all those toxins, you're mobilizing the toxins from the fat into your bloodstream at a very fast pace that your body can't keep up to eliminating them. So it can actually make your body more toxic.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they say that too, like you do a 3-day cleanse and you get headaches. I mean, that's not your body detoxing. That's all the toxins that are bombarded in your bloodstream, giving you the headache, making you feel fatigued, making you feel like crap. It's not making you detox. So, let's tap into now the 3 phases of detox.
Yeah.
What we can do to support them, what can prevent them from happening, which is a lot. And we're going to pull in at the same time that I'm going through the phases. We're going to pull in the supplements. And I got a lot over here, but these are ones that have so many other health benefits.
Sure.
So phase 1 of our detox, step 1, is basically the enzymes. So the enzymes convert these toxins, such as chemicals, drugs, alcohol, pollutants, all of that, into intermediate metabolites. These intermediate metabolites are actually very toxic.
They can be. That's not just make the general, like they can be.
Well, it says that the phase 1 process temporarily makes them more toxic. That's part of the process. They make them more reactive. That's why phase 2 has to follow. So that's why we need to make sure we've got phase 1 doing its job, but phase 2 has to be ready to do its job so we don't become more toxic. Ways to support our body through phase 1 are our B vitamins.
Well, methylation is part of phase 1 and phase 2.
Yeah.
So just so you know, the phase 1 doesn't always have to go to phase 2. Sometimes things can get enough water soluble in phase 1 where the kidneys do eliminate it. So some compounds go to phase 1. They have to then go to phase 2 and then phase 3.
Okay.
Right. But like the methylation component's a major contributor. That's a major player in phase 2, but it's also in phase 1.
Right. Yeah, when the methylation in general, but it's specifically making sure your body has the proper amount of B vitamins,
right?
To support phase 1 and antioxidants.
Oh yeah.
Actually, I want
reds and greens.
Yeah. Or super reds, super greens. So we're just gonna keep stacking.
Oh, boom.
Okay.
I don't mind it.
I don't have these guys here because we can see.
You can't really see. No, you have to pull it back.
Okay.
There you go.
Our detox and our liver support, because obviously they're major players through the whole process. And factor 4, because your CoQ10 and omegas offer cellular protection and inflammation reduction. Yes. So also this is a major player here.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's supporting our body. So phase 1 does its job. It converts into these metabolites. Now they are ready to go into phase 2 to be converted to the next step. So in phase 2, the activated toxins from phase 1 are bound with molecules like glutathione and glycine. I don't have our magnesium, but like magnesium was also there's glycine and magnesium glycinate.
Yep.
Or sulfate to neutralize their reactivity. Right. This process makes toxins water soluble for safe excretion. Right. So we're going down, we're going through the steps. So key nutrients here, and these are a lot in our liver support.
Absolutely.
We have NAC.
Precursor to glutathione. It's the only real precursor that works, truthfully.
As well as ALA.
It does. I mean, but you're looking at NAC as being like the main one.
Right. But we need the ALA in the process too, which are all in here. Milk thistle, turmeric, choline. These are all major players, as well as
aminos. You wouldn't think it, but it absolutely is.
Amino acids.
Absolutely is. Remember, amino acids are the building blocks for enzymes and other, all the chemical mediators. So,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So major player there. So again, another thing when you're doing these juice cleanses, like you are not getting any amino acids. You're not getting any of it. You're not even eating whole food protein to get the amino acids from that. Okay, so we pull those into play. Oh, I didn't say dandelion root, which
That's
is also
It's in there. Yep.
in
Organic.
So like, big, our liver support is a very strong phase 2 supplement, very strong. Okay, so then we have phase 3. So it's just a simple process, but again, our body has to have everything it needs to do these simple phases. So the now neutralized and water soluble toxins are eliminated via bile, sweat, urine, exhalation.
Right.
So effective elimination prevents toxic buildup and supports total body wellness. That's the whole goal.
That's it.
We have
That's it. There you go.
There's a few things to pull in here though. Of course, we have our detox supplement, which binds to help help eliminate. But when you're eliminating, we talk about fluid and stuff. You have to be hydrated.
You do.
If you are not hydrated properly, phase 3 you're not going to be able to eliminate. You have got to be hydrated. And now when we talk about this is not like, okay, I'm going to detox today, so I'm going to take everything. You should be this needs to be taken on a regular basis. So your body is doing this process all the time. So you don't have to think, today I'm going to detox for 3 days. No, you support your body. So you're detoxing on a regular basis. And also, a healthy gut microbiome. If your gut is suffering, if you don't have a healthy gut microbiome, phase 3 is not going to happen properly. You have got to support your gut. You've got to be taking a good quality probiotic. And of course, protein. So whole food protein, we have our protein powders. I always like to just throw them in there because it just helps us get the protein in there. Very easy, very mindless.
That's right.
Got a lot of things going on here.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, and also just other things that can help, like lymphatic drainage, sometimes dry brushing. I'm a big fanatic about dry brushing. It just can help your lymphatic system. Okay, so there goes your phase 3. So you're taking all of this stuff on a regular basis, and your body, and your body is being supported and doing what it's supposed to do. So I want to go into real quick what can impair these phases, because it's not necessarily 100% just being deficient in something. There's certain disease state, there's some medication, stuff like that I just want to run through. But phase 1, the biggest one is certain nutrient deficiencies. And again, we circle back to the B vitamins. If we are deficient in B vitamins, we're going to really struggle with phase 1. We also need the antioxidants, the glutathione. So if you have that, but if you have fatty liver congestion, fatty livers, it's going to really significantly affect phase 1. Are you reading something?
Yeah, I was just cracking up with some of the comments.
So non-alcoholic fatty liver is becoming more and more common. It's really crazy and scary. So we need to really make sure we are taking care of ourselves so we don't have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Of course, there are genetic things. So I don't really want to go into that, but there are certain people with genetic SNPs. So, you can always get a genetic test just to know. I like doing it because it allows me to know how to support my body best, my personal body. Overexposure to toxins. I'm not just talking about alcohol. I'm talking about medications, especially acetaminophen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, talked about last week. Yeah, acetaminophen's a big one for sure. That's Tylenol, just so you know, guys.
Yes. So, and pesticides, fragrances. Are you wearing perfume right now?
Yeah, the phthalates.
Or are you wearing cologne,
parabens.
guys? Yeah, it's in there.
Yeah.
You use air fresheners in your car, your home. You go into someone's house, there's like the Glade plug-in. Please stop. Full of toxins on a regular basis. So you cannot be exposing yourselves to these toxins every second of every day. So basically though, if you do have this overexposure, your liver is going to prioritize metabolizing the toxic that was just there. So like you're spraying this perfume every day, your body's going to go and work on that. But we have so many other toxins, so many other things going on in our body that our body has to do on a regular basis. So you're almost like stopping it from doing it because you're overloading it, right? I mean, I'll tell you this, simple as this. I was running the dogs this morning, just took them on a short run in our neighborhood, and I'm running by one of the neighbors' homes, and he's out there with his hose, and connected to it is one of the chemical things that he's spraying his lawn. And I'm not I didn't smell it, but I know that it's circulating in the air. I'm breathing it in. I was like trying to hold my breath as I'm trying to run. No, I don't advise that. But we're just exposed to it all the time. So you have to do your part. Other things that can affect phase 1, inflammation.
Mhm.
So you got to make sure you're keeping your inflammation down. We talked about poor protein intake, amino acid intake, chronic stress. Yeah, tough one. Mitochondrial dysfunction, work on the mitochondria. All of these supplements do help that, but we also have the methylene blue. So you some signs might be you have brain fog, you have hormonal imbalances, you have skin rashes, acne, body odor. These are all signs that maybe phase 1 is being impaired, right? So think of this, every little thing, I always call them little red flags. Like say all of a sudden you're something's going on, you're having this little red flag going up, pay attention. Okay, so then you come phase 2. What can impair phase 2? Go right back to amino acid deficiencies. That is the number one thing that can impair phase 2, as well as glutathione. So
not eating enough protein.
Not eating enough protein, not getting essential aminos, not giving your body what it needs to keep making its own glutathione.
Which you unfortunately see a lot in the elderly too. Not in the elderly, but people that are aging beyond 50 to 60 years of age. They just don't have the appetite for protein.
Right now. Yeah. And also those that are on the weight loss injectables, they tend to curb your appetite for protein as well. Yep. So you got to really pay attention. Impaired methylation. So we talked about methylation. So making sure you're taking methylated vitamins. Methylated B vitamins are in our multivitamins. And of course, you have the genetic SNPs. I am one of those too, MTHFR. So glutathione depletion. And, you want to, okay, so this is talking about an imbalance between phase 1 and 2. If phase 1 is hyperactive, maybe you're taking a lot of medications, you're constantly using acetaminophen, Tylenol, right? Because your knees hurt, your back hurts, whatever it is. But phase 2 is underactive. So you have these reactive metabolites accumulate, and it's like they're referring to as a bottleneck. Creates a bottleneck effect and increases your risk of oxidative stress and tissue damage. Just wanted to try to visualize it's like bottleneck of things happening. Of course, liver dysfunction. That's why we've got our liver support. We're going to keep supporting that liver. We talked about excessive toxin. Signs you might be feeling. Okay, chemical sensitivity. Okay, that's kind of normal. But hormonal imbalances, PMS, estrogen dominance, back to that brain fog. Certain sensitivity now to alcohol medications. Different. That something's changing. Obviously, you're not detoxing properly. If you have excess inflammation, acne, histamine issues. I know I've recently had some emails about histamine issues, and elevated liver enzymes. Got to take care of it. Okay. Phase 3. Phase 3. Man. I know, I'm trying to get a lot of it out. So phase 3, here's our elimination, our excretion. And we know this purpose, right? It's to get rid of the toxins through bile. We talked about this. What prevents phase 3 from happening properly?
Hydration.
Dehydration, constipation, poor bile flow. Got to make sure you're taking your probiotic to make sure your gut's working properly. Low fiber intake. Our fiber's coming.
Yeah, fiber's here. Almost. Let's just consider it is.
Yes. So we're about to add in. So if we had our fiber would be here too, because you need that as part of the process. So fiber binds bile and toxins in the gut. Without it, toxins, maybe they're going to recirculate.
Sure.
We don't want that to happen. Kidney function, we need to, and then lack of sweating. Make sure you're moving your body. Make sure you're getting outside, breaking a sweat. Infrared saunas, love our saunas. I was just giving my daughter the whole rundown of like detoxing for the first time. Well, she'll jump in the sauna every once in a while, but she jumps right out. I made her stay in for 15 minutes today. I said, you need to start to sweat. That's part of the process. So I love teaching my kids this stuff. Bottom line, guys, okay, again, we go to these 3-day juice cleanses and it's not doing a cleanse for your body. You need to make sure you're doing it the right way so it's actually effective. Real detoxification happens in the liver and the gut, not in a 3-day juice cleanse. Right? That's in a nutshell. Yep. The body needs daily support, not just short-term deprivation, which I really like that. Needs daily support, not short-term deprivation. They're science-backed detox protocols like those built with Live Good. This is science-backed. This is not something that's brand new. This has been here for a while. We're just not doing it right. Right. They nourish the organs. They do the work, the hard work of detoxifying rather than starving or overstimulating the body. That's it in a nutshell. So that was a lot I wanted to get out, and I didn't want to take up too much of everybody's time because I do know it's a holiday, and I do appreciate you guys joining us. live. Share this with your friends. This is really something that everybody really needs to focus on, on a regular basis. I feel very passionate about detoxing, and I hate the thought that it's like when somebody says detox, they think like maybe they were overserved last night. That's not what we're referring to. Like every single one of you out there, your body needs to be supported so it can detox properly.
Love it.
Yeah. Did you have
good job? No, I was just going down through the comments.
Were there any questions of it?
Of course. Yeah. I mean, but you covered so much of it. It's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Watch this again. Bookmark this because I want you to know I want to emphasize the importance of this.
The importance and the truth behind how the liver detoxifies.
Yes. Yeah. And if you have further questions, guys, you can always email me, lisa@livegood.com. I love this stuff. Really do. I dream about it all.
I know you do. Yeah, she absolutely does.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks,
and I
guys.
hope you enjoy your day with your friends and family and loved ones.
All right. Take care, guys. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.